Welcome to today's English Learning Podcast. Today we have a short fiction story for you called The Missing Key. As we listen to the story, we will also focus on some key vocabulary words and sentence structures to help improve your English skills. Story: It was a dark and stormy night. Olivia was sitting in her living room when she heard a loud crash coming from the kitchen. She slowly walked towards the kitchen, her heart beating fast with fear. As she entered the kitchen, she saw that a window had been broken and the lock on the back door was broken too. Her house had been burgled. Olivia looked around the kitchen and saw that her beloved key chain was missing. The key chain had been given to her by her grandmother and held a lot of sentimental value. She looked everywhere for it, but it was nowhere to be found. The next day, Olivia went to the police station to report the burglary. The officer who took her report was kind and patient with her. He asked her questions about the incident and then took her to see the detective who was working on the case. The detective was a tall and serious-looking man. He listened carefully to Olivia's story and took notes. After a few minutes, he said, "We'll do our best to find your missing keychain. But in the meantime, I have a few questions for you." He asked Olivia about the people she had invited to her house recently and if there was anyone who had been acting suspiciously. Olivia couldn't think of anyone who fit that description. She was worried that the keychain would never be found. Days turned into weeks, and Olivia had lost all hope of finding her keychain. She had started to think about replacing it when one day the phone rang. It was the police detective. He said, "We found your keychain. We arrested the thief and recovered your stolen belongings." Olivia was overjoyed. She couldn't believe that the thief had been caught and that her keychain was back in her possession. She thanked the detective and the police officers for their hard work and dedication to finding her missing key. Vocabulary: burgled, to break into a building and steal things. Sentimental value, value based on personal or emotional attachment. Detective, a person who investigates crimes suspiciously, in a way that makes you think something bad or illegal may be happening. Recovered, to get something back that was lost or stolen. Sentence structures: complex sentence. Olivia went to the police station to report the burglary, and the officer who took her report was kind and patient with her. Adverb. Phrase: days turned into weeks, and Olivia had lost all hope of finding her keychain. Prepositional phrase: after a few minutes, he said, "We'll do our best to find your missing keychain." Compound sentence: Olivia thanked the detective and the police officers for their hard work. And she couldn't believe that the thief had been caught. That's all for today's English Learning Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the story and learned some new vocabulary and sentence structures. Don't forget to practice using these new words and structures in your own English conversations and writing. Thanks for listening, and we'll see